Welcome back to Digging for Health. I'm Andrea, and today I'm going to try to catch up on some of the updates that I've promised you guys on the garden. So we're going to take a look at the comfrey, the radishes, and the garlic and see what's growing on. So as you can see, the comfrey looks fantastic. We had 100% success with these little roots that we received, and they all look really good. I'm going to keep them in these, they're called D pots. I had several people ask what these are, but they are D pots and they sell them separately. You can buy these little actual pots and the stand separately, so if you ever need to replace something. But I've actually had these for several years and they've held up fantastic. The only pots that I'm missing are the ones I've given away with plants in them. That one down there. Kind of wishing I hadn't given away the pots now. I should have transplanted them. Over here I have my rocks that I'm going to be painting and labeling for the tomato bed. Most of the radishes are looking fantastic. I have a couple varieties that did not, they didn't sprout very many. And that was the green daikon radish and the Easter egg radish. I think I only have one of those. So I'm not really sure. They're probably some of the older seeds because I did have some older seeds mixed in. And then back here, the sparkler white tip radish, they were doing fantastic. But as you can see right here is just close enough for the chickens to squeeze their head through the top and push through to eat those. So I did lose a few of those to the chickens, but that's okay. We have a ton that are doing great, and these two are both of the purple plum radishes. As far as the comparison between the two, I think they are both looking equally as good. This one right here was actually the first one to sprout, and in comparison to the others, I'd have to say that they're all pretty much going at the same rate. Some of them I need to thin out a little bit more. And there was a bit of a landslide over here. I'm not sure what happened. I might need to put some sort of stone on this side, on the edges of our row garden, since it is raised up a little bit, because we are having some plants slide down the edge. I almost forgot to update on the bamboo. This is the bamboo that did not have any leaves on it when we received it, and we are starting to see some new growth. And the two plants that we received with leaves on them, the leaves that they haven't all fallen off. We had a couple fall off, but they do look like they're drying up and they will probably eventually come off. But we are also seeing new growth on these, so this one actually looks really nice. Lots of new growth. And for those that were concerned about it being invasive in the backyard, these are a clumping variety, so they're non-invasive bamboo. We'll still have to maintain it as it grows, but it takes a lot longer for it to really spread, you know, into a size that you don't want. And they stay in nice formed clumps for you. I'm going to be planting these two pots with herb seeds. I've used it as an herb tower in the past and I loved it. And then I did lose all of the footage of planting these strawberries, but they are doing pretty good. I have a few that aren't really sprouting, or if they are, they look really weak. That's a weed. But so far so good. And update on the garlic. Seed garlic is still looking great. This was 8 out of 8, if I remember correctly. Still nothing from the conventional garlic. And we have a lot more sprouting of the organic garlic in the raised bed, so I'll go check that too. So organic garlic. Okay, so now I see 11 of the organic garlic in this bed as well. So the oddball garlic is also sprouting its greens. One behind it, there's a new one, as well as a new one coming up here. So these are looking great. The raised bed garlic is starting to catch up a little bit with the in-ground. A little one coming up there. Little one back here. I'm not sure why these are so much slower than the others. Someone mentioned temperature or moisture. I'm not sure. It could be a little bit of both. Looks like we have about 11 of the organic in the raised bed now. And 4 of the seed garlic. I think there were 5, so we may have lost one to a critter. I do have a lot of squirrels out here. And still nothing with the conventional garlic. Now I promised Chuck that I would try to dig one up and see what's going on with these. Oh, that's unusual. There's one. See if anything's going on with these. It kind of looks like a root, doesn't it? Can't get it to focus. So the tiniest little root on this one. So I think that confirms that these were definitely sprayed with something to inhibit the roots, or sorry, to inhibit sprouting. It looks like it's starting to break down, but I don't think it will break down fast enough for these to successfully grow garlic for us this year before it gets too hot. But I'm gonna stick it back in anyway and see what happens. I'll dig up one more just for the heck of it. There's one. I don't even see a little root on this one. So they're not squishy, so they're not rotting yet, but they're definitely not thriving either. Nothing's really happening. There you go. Update on the garlic. Where we took the old bed apart, we're actually going to add some compost to this area. You can see that I already put down some of the alfalfa pellets and some kelp meal. And we are going to add compost and convert this into our little melon bed for this year. I'm pretty sure they're going to take over our small garden area. But maybe I can encourage them in this direction so that we still have area to walk around our garden beds. Our sweet potato looks like it's doing great. Still growing. I did add a couple. You can see this one is just starting to send out. There's 2 more potatoes in here. I just went ahead and stuck the whole potato in. I know a lot of people like to start the slips and separate them and plant them out individually. I have just had great luck just using the whole potato. This little area here is where we will be growing our cucumbers up this trellis. And I'm also going to be overplanting this spot because I have a lot of plants that I want to grow in a very small space to work in this year. So we are just making do. I did also dig up some of the comfrey roots, so I will be making the video of the comfrey salve soon. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that I was out of the sweet almond oil, and I could have substituted it for olive oil, but I really prefer the sweet almond oil as the carrier oil for it. So I've ordered some, and I promise I have that video coming soon. Alright, so I'm going to break some of this apart to make the comfrey salve and wrap the rest up to go on a trip to Canada. Alright, these 3 roots are going to live with Jason and Colleen in Canada, and I put their link in the description, and go check their channel out if you want to see where these are going to go live. These are some cedar beds that we built I think about 5 years ago now. We originally planted some fruit trees in here that didn't take. So these 3 beds we took out the weeds and the top layer of soil so that we could add some compost in here as well. So these 3 beds we are going to be utilizing, one for hot peppers, one for a butterfly garden, and I haven't quite decided on what the 3rd one is going to be.